So guess what? Honda decided to release a new 2021 CRF300L and a CRF300 Rally that will replace the 250cc models for the year. But the bad news? Honda released this in Thailand, but words have it that possibly Europe also might release this model. This is no longer a guess, but a fact as far as Thailand goes. So what about the States? Well, I'll get straight to the point. To be honest, I'm not sure about the States yet, but I am sure Honda is listening and they perhaps might release something similar eventually.
I'm out here in Sea Springs and I kind of wanted to talk about the CRF300. Make sure nobody's behind me because I'm going pretty slow. The CRF300 and the CRF300L Rally. And put my mirrors. So I'm super excited. Why? Because everything has always been in the 250 market. Everything has been WR250R, you know, and I'm talking about dual sports, not performance dirt bikes like the KTM 250 EXEF and stuff. Because that one does have a lot more power than this KLX 250 or the CRF250L. But I kind of wanted to talk about like the reason that thing is so good. And it's because I feel like the manufacturers are actually listening to us, you know? Like, so now it's like coming out with a 300, sure, it's in Thailand, but you know, the manufacturers, I think, at least for Honda, it's made in Thailand, like the 250s and stuff, and they're making 300s now. So that means that possibly we are getting the 300s. At least I hope so. So the way I see it is, you know, now they made a 300. Perhaps in a few years, they're gonna make a 350. It might take some time, but hey, as I see it, it's a stepping stone, you know? Where I wanted to be is a DRZ 400 power, torque, and all that stuff. But, you know, it is what it is.
So I ended up doing some digging in a few places, such as Motorcycle News and ADV Pulse. Link will be below, so be sure to check them out and the article that they have listed. So in essence, we are not 100% sure what other markets will be getting, especially with these new models being released. But to my understanding, Honda's 250s models are manufactured in Thailand, so there is some hope. The big issue is the demand, and even ADV Pulse said the same thing. People are demanding a bigger displacement due to the larger demand for more power, so it could handle the higher speeds out there. And yes, I completely understand because I have driven the CRF250L as well as the KLX 250. I even test rode the CRF Rally. Of course the 250, not the 300. And in these European countries and certain parts of Thailand, elevation really gets to you. And sure, if you live around sea level, then this probably won't even pertain to you or even concern you that much. But the folks who live out in a little bit higher elevation, 4, 5, 6,000 feet, you can really start feeling its power draining. Now, to be honest, I am more excited about the CRF300 Rally versus the CRF300L Dual Sport. And that is mostly because, in my personal opinion, the Rally is a perfect exploring bike. For the CRF250L and the Rally being a dual sport, it was actually very lightweight and nimble. But the power was almost useless for those long destinations, at least out here in Colorado because of our elevation. Believe me when I say a lack of power really exhausts you when you're at 6th gear, pinned, trying to stay at 70 miles an hour. There is just no way you can pass traffic at speed. Not to mention the extra road comfort with the windshield and the larger fairings, and being such a lightweight rally machine, I think this answers the questions to many explorers out there. What is even better though, these two new models will be on a new frame, which will help keep things a bit lighter. So perhaps the new CRF300L and Rally can possibly be lighter than the KLX 250, or one can only wish for. But we do not have numbers yet, so who knows. Now the CRF300L and the Rally will be receiving a new digital dash that will display the amount of gas you have, but something we all would love to have, a gear position indicator. When I'm out riding on the streets or even trail hopping, countless times I wish my bike had or has a gear position sensor. So good job Honda for doing this. I wish every manufacturer did that in the dirt bike world. Because sure, on trails it's not a big deal, but perhaps when you're out trail hopping and you hit 6th gear and you want to drop it back down to 3rd, you get the point. Another major plus for me is the 300 Rally will also come with a bigger fuel tank, which I believe is just about 3.4 gallons, while the CRF300L Dual Sport will still be a stock 2.7. This definitely makes sense. Alright, and are you guys ready for this? This is my favorite upgrade on these machines, and this is a whopping 31 horsepower versus the traditional 24. Guys, that's 6 more horsepower, which is a nice increase for motorcycles. To give you an idea where this stands, a DRZ 400 makes about 34 horsepower. But what about the torque? The CRF300 was rated at 19.3 foot-pounds, while the DRZ 400 is at 26 foot-pounds, and the CRF250L was rated for 16 foot-pounds. And the reason I am using the DRZ 400 as a reference is because many of us off-roaders are craving that DRZ 400 power, but with the modern feel and smoothness of a newer CRF250L or KLX250. I feel like this CRF300 is the middle ground between the DRZ 400 and the KLX250 in my opinion. As far as looks goes, I believe the Rally looks the same as the previous models, but the CRF300L, the Dual Sport model, has a slight modern headlight. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments below, leave your thoughts. My personal opinion, I might rent one and check it out, but being a 300, I probably might skip this purchase. In my honest opinion, I think a CRF 400 Rally is where it's at. With a similar power curve of the DRZ 400, that is what I'm looking for. So imagine if the CRF 300 Rally was actually a CRF 400 Thumper Rally. Now you can take my money. Anyhow, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell button, let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys on my next video.